Welcome back to Who Want a Life Sentence. Thank you guys for tapping in with me. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. I'm gonna put the cash. No, I ain't putting the cash up there no more. I be forgetting y'all. I ain't putting the cash up there. But I still just want you to enjoy the video. I want to say, guys, I apologize for the time in between the videos, but sometimes life get to life and I get busy and I have to go and handle my business. Like yesterday was my daughter's birthday, so everything, just about everything, got neglected. I don't even think my dogs ate yesterday. So like I said, work with me, guys. I apologize. I really appreciate you guys being here with me, and I'm eager to get you the end of the story. And shout out to my homeboy Ball, man. I spoke to my homeboy Ball. He's also one of my guys that I used to know back in my prison days. And at one point in time, we were sparring partners. So hopefully I can get up with Ball this weekend, man. But shout out to my boy Ball. So what we left off is I'm in jail 30 days. My roommate is facing some time for a violation. My roommate ended up getting 2 years. My sister sent him to prison for 2 years. I went on home. Well, I went to my brother's keeper. What I got mixed up in between is she sent me to jail twice for 30 days. So I'm not sure if this was this first time or the second time. But what happened is I told the story about the Wizinator. If you guys go back and look at some of my old videos, I went back and tried to find it. I can't find which video it is, but I did a video on the Wizinator. The Wizinator is a fake penis that holds urine. So when you have to take a test for like probation, parole, or whatever you need to take a test for, you can fake the funk and trick it. You got to get somebody's clean urine, put it in the little bag that it has attached to it, and you got to do your thing. So I used that whole video and explained that. Y'all can go watch that. So what she ended up telling me is when I used the Wizinator, when I tried to deceive him with the Wizinator, I failed horribly. I knew I was going to jail because the big guys came in and stood behind me with their arms crossed and asked me, Mr. Marshall, do you have something in your pants that helped you pass the urinary sample? And the way when they ask a question like that, it ain't no need in line. So she went ahead and took me to jail. But while we were in the car, she was telling me that, I had made the situation worse. She was like, man, had you came in and just pissed and pissed dirty, I kind of already expected you to. You've been pissing dirty. So I wouldn't have locked you up for 30 days. I'd made a little fuss, but I would have let you go back home. But when you come in and try to deceive us with any kind of device, any kind of juice, any kind of drinks, any kind of tricks, then she's like, it's out of my hands. It's automatic 30 days. You got to go into they had a name for it. It was like a detox section for like 30 days. She's like, it's automatic. Ain't nothing I can do. So it was at that point right then that I kind of decided, I had enough of this because, again, to my understanding, well, as far as I knew, my time was running. No matter what was going on, if I was in my brother's keeper, if I was home, if I was in prison, my time would continue on. So she ended up coming and getting me and taking me to my brother's keeper. She taking me straight from the jail, put on my same clothes and take me to my brother's keeper. My brother's keeper is really just a regular apartment on Highway 85 in Riverdale. So on Highway 85 and Garden Walk at that intersection. It's right here. It's right on the left if you coming from like the interstate. And once you get the Garden Walk, it's right on the left. You can't miss it. And it looked like regular apartments, but it looks like regular apartments, but that first house was dedicated to rehab, some kind of rehab program, or whatever they were doing. First of all, let me say this. My brother's keeper was all men. There were no females. They had, whenever we went to the program in the morning and the meetings at night, there were women there. So it was a co-ed program, but at the sleeping facility, it was just all men. So having a woman there, is it ain't easy to get. I mean, you can't get away with that. You're gonna get caught. So excuse me, man, this is aggravating me. So so that's what the rehab was. Again, I've been locked up 30 days, so I ain't paid my phone bill. My phone is off. I got the little Metro. That's what was out at the time. The little Metros, probably even been the flips, but they were the little Metros, and mine had been turned off. All I got from the jail is the clothes that I got on, and I have crystal number. That's another thing I forgot to tell y'all. I know when I made the first video, I was just talking, and I was trying to get the story out. And I said that the girl name was Erica or something, the girl that he tried to put me on the phone with, the scamming girl, the boosting girl rather. But as I keep going over and recalling and going back into, my things get clearer, names come up. Her name was Crystal. I didn't call hiccups. Her name was Crystal, and she lived out in Douglasville, Georgia. So all I took with me was the clothes that I had on, and I had crystal numbers wrote down on a piece of paper. When I get to the my brother's keeper, like I said, regular apartment. What you have is you got like a house man. He's the one running it. His name was Zach. He's there Monday through Friday. Old guy. He don't get in your way at all. He basically spend all his time in his room. You might see him come out going to the kitchen, come out going to the bathroom, back in his room and close the door. On the weekends, he leave on Friday and a weekend man come. I can't remember his name. Short, black, bald head guy. He took a liking to me because he was a chess man. He some kind of way he found out I played chess, and I started whooping him on the chessboard. Now, both of these guys are addicts, recovering addicts. You can't say recovered because you never fully recover. So it's just a lifelong journey. So they both recovering addicts. I think Zach maybe used to smoke crack, and I can't remember what the black bald head guy do. But what's going on is, they run in the house and they watching us, but not babysitting. But it's zero tolerance. They might give you one chance, but at any sign that you're not doing what you're supposed to do, they're gonna kick you out because they don't want to endanger the other people that are taking their sobriety serious. While I'm here at my brother's keeper, what I realize is it's rehab. I gotta sleep here, and we attend a meeting every day. So I remember one of the meetings was like at a church on Godby Road. Then one of the meetings was at some place on Old National. It was like 10 different places where we went to go meetings, but you had to go to a meeting every day. Wake up in the morning. When you wake up in the morning, when you wake up, everybody wake up. They come out and bring you into the living room. You can some guys had coffee or whatever. I don't think I was a coffee drinker at that time. They would have they doing what they do in the morning, but in the morning you got to sit around and say, you got to give like some kind of little whatever it is. It ain't a speech because it's too short to be a speech, but like for me, I gotta say, hey y'all, good morning. I'm Jonathan. I'm a recovering addict from marijuana, and I'm just gonna take it one day at a time. Some like I ain't smoked yesterday, and I'm just trying to take it one day at a time. I ain't get high yesterday. I'm trying to take it one day at a time. When we go to the meetings, people were sharing chips. They would have like a blue chip saying I've been clean 30 days, a gold chip, I've been clean a year, a whatever chip, I've been clean 10 years. This is what I got to go to like every day behind my marijuana smoking. I remember when I got to my brother's keeper, I'm telling people, like I said, I had to recite, hey man, I'm a recovering addict. I like to smoke marijuana, and I'm didn't get high yesterday, one day at a time. So when the people in the when the residents in the program hearing me, they look at me like, weed? You ain't here for weed? And even Zach came and talked to me one time, like, she put you, your parole officer put you in here for weed? I was like, yeah. And they were like, dang, man, she really, she really wasting a bed for someone who could really use the program, for someone, who got a little bit heavier addiction. And I totally agree, because again, at the time I had two jobs. I worked at Pizza Hut. I was a security overnight, and I was going to Griffin Tech during the day. So I was kind of thinking, like, I don't have crackhead behavior. I hold down my job, but this is what she wanted me at, because I kept doing dirty urine. So when I get to my brother's keeper, I call Crystal. I either my brother's keeper got a house phone. Oh, let me explain my roommate. Later on that day, I meet one of my roommates. This is really my only roommate. If I'm not mistaken, it's just me and him in the room. Light-skinned guy, real slim, real cool. Young. So as soon as I meet him, I can't understand why he in here, because he look totally normal. Don't look like, I don't see no tracks where he been shooting up. He got all his teeth. He got he got gear. He got like hats and clothes, good stuff. He would go out to work, Jordans. He would look normal. I almost remember his name. But his problem was, he was a stone cold alcoholic. And man, once he got to drinking, like, it spiraled out of control quickly. Now, while he was sober, like all during the day and all that, whenever he was sober, cool, no problem. He had it. But listen, he was cool. Once he started drinking, he would like he would just flip. He would think people attacking him. He getting smart with you. He want to cuss you out. His eyes be bloodshot red, and he won't stop. He just want to drink more and more and more. And then next thing you know, he be walking with like the 40-ounce cans, and the tall old cans in the bag. We in a sober house. You ain't supposed to be smoking. So it basically got to the point where he didn't even care. So it almost came to me again. His name keep coming and keep leaving me. So so I'm in the so I called Crystal. And I let her know, hey, look, I'm calling her because basically I ain't got nothing to do, and I just got out of jail. When I talked to her, she wasn't interested because I was in jail. So I'm calling. I'm like, hey man, I done got out, but I ain't out. She like, what you mean? I'm like, they got me in some halfway house. I didn't already explain to her, like, I got two jobs. I got this going on. I'm gonna get kicked out of here, get kicked out of there. But they got me in this place called my brother's keeper. It's on Highway 85. She like, can you have visitors? I'm like, yeah, I can have visitors. She like, cool, I'm gonna pull up. Bet. She pulled up first night. I come out there, and she cool. She was in the silver Dodge Magnum. Come to find out, she had four cars. She had a Dodge Magnum. She had a Mustang that her best friend was driving. She had a Monte Carlo, like not the old model, but like the 96, 97. And she had a Ford Explorer. The Explorer and the Monte Carlo was sitting down in the yard, kind of like broke down. Not beat up, but just like flat tires or maybe needed updated tags. Nobody had been driving them or anything, right? She had a big old house way out in Douglasville, but we'll get to that. So she came to see me in the Dodge Magnum. I'm impressed. She a little heavy set, but it's all good. Real cute in the face. Got that real sweet attitude. I'm like, cool, what's going on? We sit in the car, man. We sit in the car and might have talked we probably sat in the car and talked for an hour. Now I can tell she digging me. She feeling me. I ain't trying to put nothing on it. I ain't being conceited. And I'm just telling the story. I can tell that she feeling me, right? So everything going pretty good. She ended up leaving. I know, like, she asked me for a hug before she left. She drove off in the Dodge Magnum. She caught out. The next day, I ended up calling her. We talking. It was all good. She said she wanted to come see me. When she came and saw me, she brought me like $200. I ain't asking for anything. She brought me like $200. She brought me a Metro that was connected, and one or two more things I may have been, not thinking about, but just I could tell she was trying to impress me, or at least trying to, push the situation her way, and I'm cool with that. So now I'm dealing with Crystal hard. I still have my own situation at home. I got a baby on the way. I'm trying to keep my job. I know the security job gone, but I'm trying to stay. I had basically, for the most part, wrote off college also because we got to the point where we had to have our own toolboxes. I was in for automotive technician. So like the first semester we were good, but coming up on the next semester, they didn't want you. Once we get hands on, they don't want you using shop tools, borrowing tools, using everybody else's tools because you might lose them. Anything happen, arguments, whatever. So in order to continue the class, you have to have one of the big like rolling toolboxes that got the bunch of drawers on them. The cheapest one might have been like 4,100. Something like that. They had a brochure with all of them in there, and it's kind of set up for like telling us, students, take this home to your parents and let them figure out what we're gonna do. Either they can buy it straight out, or you can go down to the financial desk and they can help you out. They can put you on a plan, all this kind of stuff. Of course, I don't have no parents, and I don't have no credit. I definitely ain't got $4,000, and if I did, it wouldn't go for no damn safe. Or no toolbox. So Griffin Tech I'm out of it. I'm done with Griffin. I'm done with Griffin Tech for the most part. So while we at my brother's keeper, once you start going to classes and once you get into the program, they'll give you a pass for the weekends. Man, I remember one day we went down to we were supposed to be going, like they put us on a little van and take us down to the center in the morning time where they do more classes about staying sober, being high, all this. Oh my God. So I'm there, and Crystal ended up calling me on the phone. She got me. She telling me she close in the area, what am I doing? And I noticed that the only person that can be there that can watch us is the driver. And they ain't really paying attention. They over there asleep, right? Man, I tell her where I'm at. I'm over on Battle Creek on 19 Terra Boulevard somewhere. I'm on Battle Creek, and it's in Jonesboro. I'm like, come on, I think it's the place where the defects and all that, or family children services, something like that. So I tell her where I'm at. She pull up and come get me. I know that I'm breaking the rules, but I'm justifying it to myself because I got stuff going on. Man, I go with Crystal. We go straight to the mall. She get to buying me stuff, and I'm talking about clothes, anything that I wanted. She's showing me stuff, right? At one point we in the mall, and she hand me her phone. When I get her phone, his girl name almost came back to my head. It was something like Tiki Baby or Tiki or something like that. But his girl, so basically when she give me the phone, this is my boy from jail. So he done call his girl, she done call Crystal on three-way, and they asking to speak to me. When I get on the phone, I'm like, what going on? They like, hey bro, what going on? You all right? Yeah, man, what going on? You all right down there? Yeah, they sent me down to Dodge and such. I'm down here in Dodge State Prison. I'm doing good, and I'll be home. I might get out early. Oh, okay, that's good. Whatever. How you doing? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm out here kicking with Crystal, man. I like her. She good. Everything. We having a conversation, but I'm knowing that the questions he asking me, they a little bit more like an interrogation, and I ain't really feeling comfortable with this. So I end up giving her the phone back. I'm like, yeah, man, tell him, I told him I'll holler at him later, gave him the phone back. Boom, I end up giving him my personal number. Because we still all right. We ain't got no problem. I end up giving him my personal number. We leave the mall. It was something like Arbor Place Mall or something nice, right? We end up leaving the mall and going back to her house. Now, as I'm driving out to her house, I'm nervous because, first of all, I know I'm breaking the rules. I'm supposed to be at the center, and even outside of that, because sometimes guys would do that. They would disappear from the center, but by the time that van get back to the rehab center, They be there. You need to be there. You need to be accounted for. When them people try to come and put eyes on you, they need to see you. So that's why I'm nervous because, because even if they can't find me at the center, I'd be like, I went in the bathroom, used the bathroom, came out, the bus was gone, I got to ride back to the center. We driving out to Douglasville to her house. When we get to her house, it's crunk, it's alive, it's live. That's why when we roll by, she telling me those are my cars and all this such and this and that, whatever. And I'm impressed. Real big old house out in Douglasville, but a house full of people. She had the girl was there, Tiki, her old boy girl. She had about 4 kids herself, anywhere from the ages of like 3 to like 16. So, it's a house full of people. Now, it don't look like anybody hurting for anything, and it's stuff everywhere. I remember at one point she showed me when we went to her room, she showed me, she pulled the back up, like her closet door. She closed her closet door, and on the back was a hook, and she had like real expensive bags just hanging up, stuff that was real expensive at the time, like Fendi, Gucci, Chanel, and she was just going through the bags. I mean, like the little handbags that like with the strings on them, but they had the prices on them like 1,500, 900, stuff like that. She had went to a closet and showed me in her closet, like she wore a real small shoe, like a size 2, size 3 or something. And she would just open the box like a pair of Air Force One. She like, I ain't never wore them, and throw them. She showed a pair of Jordans. She might have the same pair of Jordans in 4 colors. I ain't never wore those. I ain't never wore those. And she like had a whole stack of this stuff. This the stuff that she's never opened. She got a whole nother stack of stuff that she wear every day. The girl got stuff everywhere. House full of merchandise, right? So you could tell that the game is real. Um, it's at this point she go to the whole time we talking, she's trying to convince me that I done told her my situation. I got a baby on the way. I got a house. I got to pay rent. This lady finna get me kicked out of my job and everything. So she began her campaign with trying to tell me to leave all that behind, come out here to her with Douglasville, and just have a family with her. She liked me like that, right? And honestly, it's tempting because it'll take a lot of stress off my back, but it's not what I wanted to do. Since I've been 15, I got locked up when I was 14. Since I was 15, I wanted to be a father. I wanted someone to call mine, and someone to look up to me, and someone that I could be there for and not let down. So, and now I got a son on the way, and she's asking me to abandon it. So off the real, it put a bad taste in my mouth because I'm like, what kind of person is this? This girl here kind of selfish, but at the same time, I want the benefits, but I don't want to. Leaving my family. That ain't gonna work for me, especially my son. You know what I'm saying? So she putting the press on me, and I'm trying to back out, kind of like slow and easy. But every time I try to back out, she got an answer for it. She come on like a little bit stronger. She was like, she was telling me that I could just, once I was done at my brother's keepers, that I could just move out to Douglasville with her. So I'm like, well, that's kind of, that's cool and I appreciate it. But, for the moves that I be making and stuff, it's better for me to be over here in Decatur because, it's a shorter ride and, I get good prices over here. And, that's where I kind of got it going on at. She hit me she was like, man, she said, it's some Mexican that for some, she braids some Mexican hair. She said, I braid this Mexican hair, and every time I braid his hair, he give me like 3 or 4 pounds. Now, this is at the point where it's starting to feel a little unbelievable. I'm like, he give you 3 or 4 pounds just to braid his hair? She like, yeah, he like me, but I don't like him like that. But he just be giving me pounds and pounds the whole, and most time it just be stacking up. She was like, you can have that. Every time I braid his hair, you can have that. That way you won't gotta, re-up. Man. So she making the deal real sweet, right? I'm trying to fight it. I'm like, nah, man, I can't go for that because I'm like, man, I got a dog kennel. Like I said, this was like 20 years ago. So, and I've been trying to get these dogs going for a long time. So I'm telling them, like, man, I'm like, I got a dog kennel and I done put a lot of money into certain dogs. I can't just, just up and leave because then my investment gone and, it's too far from Douglasville to be trying to drive out here to go out there to see my dogs. Man, this girl she say, okay, so my mama live 5 minutes up the street and she got a dog kennel in the back. She said it was my brother's dog kennel, but he went to prison for like 4 years for selling drugs. She said all the dogs gone. My mama got rid of all the dogs, but all the cages are still back there in the back of her house. She said you can either have the cages and bring them over here, or you could just leave the dogs in my mama's house. She don't care. I'm like, dang, you gonna give me your mama yard and you ain't even talk to her about it? She like, listen, I'm telling you, she don't care. If that's what you want to do, we can bring all the dogs to over there and it's all good. I'm like, dang, all right, let me think about it. 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 I'm talking about every time I think of an excuse trying to wiggle out of her, totally locking me in, she hit me with something. I mean, and she dead serious. She done told me that, I can pick whichever one of these cars that I want to drive. Her friend was driving her Mustang. It was yellow. She told me if I wanted that one, she'd pull her out of that one, or if not, I could have either one of the cars in the yard. So I'm lying to her. I'm telling her that, I done broke it off with, the girl that I got that got the baby on the way. And I'm just, it's just gonna be me and her. She like, cool. This happened within a very short period of time. We're going to say about 4 days. So some kind of way she realized that I'm not really cutting it off and I'm still dealing with, the people that I used to deal with. So Crystal ended up getting mad at me. Even I like before then I ended up coming back late to the house that day, and it wasn't a big deal. I was able to sneak in and nobody ever noticed, which was probably led to the stupidity I was doing later on. But while we were out at her house, she tried to, she tried to close the door on the bedroom with me and tried to, going up through there, and it's all good. But this is as far as I can remember, this is the only time in life when my little soldier didn't want to stand up, man. He didn't want to march. You know what I mean? And I know why. It was more than one reason. The first reason, like I said, is I'm worried about the center looking around and I'm not being there. That's the first thing on my mind. The second thing on my mind is, because I can get over that. The second thing on my mind is, again, it's a house full of people. We in her room with the door closed, but I can hear everybody out there. And like, it ain't like they chilling. They running back and forth through the door, by the door, screaming, rapping, TVs, front door slamming, the little ching and chime that go off when I mean, it's all action, right? But she done close that out and she got us in the bedroom. My man won't get right. So I ain't tripping. I think she actually got a little mad at me because of that, but like I just can't do that. I can't, I ain't that kind of guy, man. I ain't that kind of guy. Because honestly, I'm thinking, what if I get to getting right and somebody just busts in, because that's the kind of house they had. They ain't kind of had a house what was like a whole bunch of respect and manners where they gonna knock on the door like and wait. Nah, they gonna knock on the door. They gonna knock on the door and come in. This is what they normally do. This is what they used to. They done came in 3 or 4 times since we've been sitting in here, right? It's pretty apparent that we ain't gonna get nothing going, in the room. My man ain't acting right, your kids ain't acting right. So we just chilling. We decided to watch a little movie. We laying on the bed watching a movie. My phone ring. At this time I ain't getting that many calls. I ain't getting no calls, but nobody from the girl who pregnant with my baby and maybe my homeboy, you know what I mean, 1 or 2 people. But I've been gone so long, I ain't getting that many calls. My phone ring. I look at the phone. I don't recognize the number. I answer the phone. Hello? It's her homegirl who's normally over here and downstairs. She say, I think that boy name was Carlos. She said, Carlos want to talk to you. I'm like, all right, cool. Now, I don't understand why he's calling me on three-way again, because I didn't gave him my number, but it is what it is. I ain't tripping. He called me. He started with the small talk. What going on, bro? Hey, what going on? How you doing? I'm all right, man. I ain't heard nothing from you. What you supposed to be hearing from me? You know, that's what he tell me. He ain't heard nothing from me. What are you supposed to be hearing from me? He like, look, bro. You know, it's all good, man. I ain't mad at you. Do your thing. You know what I mean? You done got out. You doing your thing, bro. Just shoot me like $500. I look at the phone. For what? He like, bro, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't even be sitting over there. I'm like, man, you serious? He like, bro, look, man. Bro, my girl can't even go to work no more. Every time I call over there, all they talking about is you over there, you over there. He like, I ain't even getting my phone be getting cut off and stuff. They ain't going to work. He like, bro, just shoot me 500, man. I ain't mad at you, but I'm over here hurting. All right, bro, I got you, man. As soon as, let me get done with this, and I got you as soon as I get back on my side. All right, bro, appreciate that. I hang up the phone. She like, who is that? I'm like, man, that's, old boy, Carlos. She like, what do he want? That nigga to my $500. For what? For hooking me up with you? She like, oh, he tripping. So I blocked the nigga number. I end up blocking his number, and I never heard from Carlos again, right? He went on, like I said, did his prison time. I went on with my life. Me back down to the center. It's all good. I end up sneaking in. It was no problem. I think I know how she found out, because if you remember, like I said, she bought the phone and it was already activated from Metro. So she bought the phone and it was activated from Metro. And, sometimes she would call me, I wouldn't answer the phone, but I would be on the phone with, the girl finna have my baby. So we'd be talking like that. And one day she called me and told me, like, we was on the way to the center, and she called me. It's like the next day, like, yeah, you think you slick, man. You ain't slick, bro. I see what you doing. You ain't slick. And she just kind of like went off and hung up on me. I wasn't tripping. By the time we get out the center, I tried to make a call. It wasn't to her. I tried to make a call, and the phone was completely dead. It wasn't, it was activated. It had no service. And of course, it only made sense that I think I talked to my best friend about it, and I think it only made sense that the girl had probably, since the phone was in her name, she can get records for the Metro, and she could find out who I've been calling, what calls been made, and she could track everything going in. She see what calls going in and out for certain amount of times. She cut the phone off. She just basically like, you ain't gonna play me on my dime. You know what I mean? And that was the end of Crystal. I ain't hear from her no more. Didn't see her no more. I do remember though, she had told me, like, while we was up there at her house, she took me down in the garage and was like, and she showed me a little Honda. It was a little Honda Civic, but give me 1 second, y'all. Okay, excuse me. So yeah, she had took me down and showed me a little Honda in the garage, with a nice Honda with the windshield. Told me that she had bought it for the last guy she was with. And I'm like, really? She was like, yeah. She was like, he was trying to play me, but so I broke the windshield and made him get out of it. I'm like, so I'm sitting there thinking, like, why did you break the windshield? If it was your car. She was like, I don't know. I was just angry at the time, and he pulled up in it. And she showed me, like, she had a weight bench over to the side, like the man kind. So, I ain't asked no questions. But the little bitty weights, the little plate weights, they were on the floor. She was like, he was pulling in, and I was throwing the weights at the window. And so he just got out and ran, and I ain't seen him no more. So she was like, but I don't give a damn. It's my car. I was like, you right. You know what I mean? So I kind of knew then that she was a little kooky. So I was trying to tread lightly and see what I could do. Anyway, epic fail. I remember one day we over at a church on Old National. I can't quite remember what church it was, but we had a church over on Old National, and man, they give this one guy they give this one guy the mic that's talk. And they do, it's a big old church, like everybody addicts in some kind of reunion. And it was this little funny crackhead dude that was there with us, right? And he was just regular, he was just recovering. He was just going through it because he had to be going through it. So the dude up on stage, he talking and he was telling us how he had been clean over 20, it was a long time, had been clean like over 26 years, had then built a multi-million-dollar business or corporation, something with trucks, not regular like 18 wheelers, but some kind of box trucks or something like that. He had gotten married. He had 3 kids, and the kids were grown. The kids were like 17, 18, and 20. He had done everything. All of this was after, all this was while he was in recovery. And for the most part, he thought that he thought he was cured. He said he thought he had it beat. And he said that something led to it, man. It was either like one drink or one smoke or something real small, he made it seem like. And next thing you know, he said it didn't stop till he smoked up everything, on crack. He said he smoked up his whole business, every truck. He said he smoked up everything in the house. His wife divorced him. His kids don't like him. I mean, that he was giving his testimony. He was telling how he from being in recovery, he had done built a whole life, a sustainable life for years, like more than 2 decades, and end up uh end up smoking it all down the drain. Man was up there talking, man, and he ended up talking about how he ended up giving another guy fellatio for some crack rock. And I remember this meeting because, like I said, it was the little crackhead dude that was sitting next to me. He was, man, like when the dude said that on stage, I looked at the little crackhead dude, he looked at me, and it was like a movie, because he was like, man, that nigga went out bad. And the way he said it, it was just so funny. And we in the auditorium and it's silent. And when bro was like, that nigga went out bad, man, I couldn't hold it. I bust out laughing, but they don't hear what he said. They just, like the crowd, everybody in the auditorium don't hear what he just whispered to me. They just hear the dude on stage say, he been giving fellatio for some crack, and I bust out laughing. I mean, I had about 4 or 5 people looking at me, so I bust out laughing. But like when you bust out laughing, I don't know if y'all ever did it, but I was able to make it look like a sneeze. So I laughed like, and I got up and I ran to the bathroom, just holding my face. But I like, and I had a couple people looking at me, and they probably, but for the most part, I think people just think that I was sneezing. So yeah, man, these are the kind of classes the lady got me in. These folk in here tripping, right? I really just want to get out and go back to work so I can finish taking care of my family. Man, I remember we in that thing. So me and the little girl, the little chick who was pregnant with my baby, we were kind of close, right? We were kind of tight. So I tell her, when I see the layout of how it is, of how it's going, of how my brother's keeper is, like I said, Zach never come out the room. So being that Zach never come out the room, I'm gonna take advantage of it. I tell her, come on up here, man. I'm gonna sneak you in. I'm gonna let you spend the night with me. She kind of scared, but it's one of them situations where she would go off anything that I would say. You know what I mean? She's like, it's okay, come on. So she had our friend bring her up there. Once she told me that, this how crazy and retarded I was, man. But once she told me that she was outside, I come out and I see her. I can tell it's her because she got on a hoodie, but the belly is big, right? And I see, as I'm walking across the little area to go meet her, she telling me on the phone, like, man, I don't see you. It's a guy out here though. I'm like, what you mean? She like, it's a guy, he asking me something, but I can't understand what he asking me. And as I'm walking to the back, I'm seeing the guy, He's walking behind her and he's saying something. I can hear it. But like I'm still maybe 100 yards off. And she's just trying to walk fast. And she like, man, you coming out? I don't see you. I'm running fast. I'm running fast. I get up there. When I get about 5 feet, I'm talking about I damn near explode. Like, bro, get your monkey ass, man, get your. So as soon as he seen me, I'm talking about it's like one of them shadowy figures, one of them people who you know was up to some bull jive, right? Soon as he see me running towards him, he turned around and start walking off real fast. And I had the mind to chase him, but I knew that she was scared. So I went and tended to her first. I went and got her. She said she was all right. I put my hand around her and I walked her back, to the building. The whole time I'm looking, I'm making sure don't nobody see. Man, don't nobody looking, coast clear, ain't nobody out. I sneak her in the building, in my room. My roommate, he used to sneak and get drunk. That's how I know what his thing was. He is on his cot, his bed or whatever. He out. I'm talking about he on his bed, on his back, mouth wide open. He's snoring. It's stuff coming out his mouth. You can tell that it's over with. He dead drunk, right? So I put her in the closet. I go over there and I try to wake bro up. I hit his leg. Hey, bro. He don't wake up at all. I grab this man's shoulders, but he's snoring. He breathing. I grab his shoulders on the bed. I'm like, this him. Bro. Out. He will not get up, period. I'm like, bruh. He will not, I'm talking about he dead to the world. I've never seen nothing like this before. Cause what I'm doing is I got my mind on something else, right? I'm trying to see if he gonna sleep through this activity I got in my mind. Because let's just be real, it's been 30 days. It's been 30 days. I've been, locked up in jail, so I ain't been with my girl. So there's only one reason that I would be willing to take the chance to sneak her in here with me. There's only one thing on my mind. So I decided it's a go. I go ahead and the bed that I slept on was kind of creaky. It would make a noise every time that I got in it. And, if I rolled over or something. So, which would be a normal noise if it's just me and him in the room. But if there's constant moving on the bed, then, the mattress, the little spring is going to be singing, and that ain't going to work. It's going to be a dead giveaway. So I say in my head, okay, I'm gonna pull the mattress, I'm gonna pull the mat off of the bed, on the floor, right in front of the bed. Therefore, I can do what I need to do. So that's what I do. While she's still in the closet, I pull the mat on the floor, you know what I mean? With the cover still on it, I sneak her out the closet and we get on the mat. Now, I get behind her, she is in front of me with all the covers on top of her, so she can't be seen at all. And I'm under there. I'm seeing, I got control of everything. I got it under control, but I'm outside of the covers, and every now and again I peek at him. We making very little noise, but I'm handling business, right? I'm Dougie, you know what I mean? Putting the leg up, hitting with the camera and joint, right? I'm, 30 days. So, listen, while I'm hitting her with the Dougie, she can't see. She can't see what's going on. She under the covers. While I'm hitting her with the Dougie, my roommate come up like Undertaker. He dead to the world. He just come up and look me dead in my face, cause I'm like this, but when he come up, cause his bed, I hit his bed. When he come up, I'm like this. I pause and just look dead at him. He come up and me and him eye to eye. We looking at each other eye to eye. This man don't smile, don't grin, don't nothing. We look at each other eye to eye for about 3 seconds. He lay straight back down. Shit got me. It got me so spooked that I don't continue off the rip. So with me not continuing, she under the cover pulling the blankets back. Now she trying to see like, what's going on? I'm like, she get back up under there. You know what I mean? I'm moving slow, but I keep glancing at him. He don't move. I'm like, damn, I ain't never seen this before. And not only that, but because I know I'm gonna forget to tell y'all, but later on I end up asking him like, bro, you remember what happened and he had no idea what I was talking about. So I know when he woke up and looked me face to face, he was still knocked out, completely unconscious. We do our thing. The plan is to wake up or get up at about 4 or 5 in the morning, because Zach get up at like 5:30. By 6 o'clock, he already moving around and checking to make sure everybody where they supposed to be and start getting people ready. So between 4 and 4:30, we need to be up out of there. Mess around, look up, wake up in the morning. Zach beating on the door. The light coming from the room. My roommate still knocked out too. He's still knocked out in the bed, but Zach beating on the door. Boom, boom. I don't know what else to do. I get up and I hurry up, tell her be quiet, and I put her in the closet. Put her in the closet, close the door, go open the door for Zach. Zach look in, he like, y'all ready in here? Nah, we getting up now. He like, all right, y'all go and get ready. Cool, man, we get our stuff ready. That's his name too, his name was Kenneth. My roommate name was Kenneth. I'm telling y'all stuff be coming back. Wake Kenneth up. He get up like, bro, we gotta go. So the whole time I'm trying to, while we getting ready to go, he brushing his teeth, doing this and doing that. I'm trying to like lag behind in the room so I could give her a message like, we gotta go, or try to sneak out or something. But he kind of won't let me. He won't just go ahead and leave so I could be the last man out. You know what I mean? I don't get to tell her no message. We got to get on the bus and got to go to the van to the center, to the program. Now I'm thinking, all right, she gonna try to be smart and when the coast is clear, go on and clear on out of there. Go on with the day, and a little bit later she'll call me, let me know everything was good. It was all good. Again, pregnant, like big pregnant, got to be like at least 7 or 8 months. So big stomach, right? Man, listen, the girl don't do none of that. She's so afraid. She stayed in the closet from the time that, we got in there and so it had to be about anywhere from 6:37 in the morning all the way until the next night, because when we came back from the center that day, we come back about 4 o'clock. I get off, I run in there, I run to the room, peek in there, she's still in there. And I can't believe it. I can't believe she's still in here. So I'm like, dang, why you ain't? She like, I ain't know what to do. I ain't want to just leave. And this is a little frustrating because it's like, now she's just doing anything that I say, right? But she's 7, 8 months pregnant. 3 or 4 meal times done passed. Breakfast gone, lunch gone. We at dinner time. You hungry? Yeah. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try to get you something to eat. And long story short, man, I was able to get her something to eat. She had to stay in that closet, crammed up. The closet was real small. So she had to stay in that closet, crammed up, nearly a whole 24 hours. And that same night, same thing. I pulled the mattress out while my bunkmate was asleep. But this time we did it a little bit earlier, say around about like 12, 1 o'clock. You know what I mean? Handling my business, hit her with the Dougie. And then about 1 o'clock, I made sure the coast was clear, and I walked across the street to the store, and a ride came and got her. I barely escaped that one. And with all this going on, what ended up happening is, so I'm living on Flint River. If anybody know about Flint River, it's also on Highway 85. It's probably about 6 miles up Highway 85 from Garden Walk, where I'm at. One day I decided, it was on a Saturday, you know, this at the time, this a little time done passed. I'm doing good in the program. I'm getting time off. I mean, time on the weekends you can go home, and like on the weekends you can go home on Friday, but you got to be back by Sunday. So I'm going through all that. Program going pretty good. At the same time, I still got my job and I still got responsibilities at home that I just being home on the weekend is just not gonna be enough. One Saturday when I was supposed to be going home, my ride couldn't come and get me. And like I said, it's about 6-7 miles up the road, so it'll gonna take me about an hour and a half, maybe about 2 hours to walk up here. My ride wouldn't come and get me. First I'm like, nah, I can't do that. Then I'm thinking about it, man, I'm missing these folk. Man, I'm on the way. You know what I mean? I get to walking up there. Literally take me about 2 hours to walk up there. I walk up there, I see everybody, everything's still normal. When I get home, damn near feeling like I done made this 2-hour walk for nothing. But, you know, I get to see everybody good. My dog's good, the baby, everything is good. I just remembered another story. So the fact of the matter is I had to walk all the way back down there, another 2 hours. That was on the weekend. What ended up happening is I tried the same thing on a weekday. I waited till everybody was asleep. I wasn't supposed to be out, and I went ahead and got to marching up the street. I marched up the street, man. I walked 2 hours all the way home just so I could spend the night there. Woke up at 4 in the morning and walked back to try to be back before 6 o'clock before anybody get up and checked on me. And when I get to the building, you know, it's still dark outside. So I'm hopeful that, you know, I done tricked everybody, or at least I done got over. Man, when I get in the room, when I get in the building, Zach wasn't there, who's normally there during the week. The weekend man is there. I don't know why, but the weekend man is there, and soon as I walked in my room, he came in my room behind me. And he wasn't mad, he wasn't smiling, he wasn't like upset or nothing. He was like, man, go on, pack your stuff. I looked at him, I'm like, bro, you serious? He's like, yeah, man, go on, pack your stuff. And turned around and he walked out. That was it. I did just that. I packed all my stuff and I left. Now I'm saying to myself, you know, I'm just gonna tell the parole officer that, you know, they told me I was done. You know what I mean? So I'm packing my stuff and I'm getting ready to leave, and the thought hit me like, in case we done moved since I started dealing with the parole officer. My phone got cut off, so she ain't got my phone number. There's really no way that she can get in touch with me. You know what I mean? I need to shave. I'm sorry, y'all. There's really no way that she can get in touch with me. So I say, I'm gonna try this, man. I'm gonna try it for like, I'm gonna go on out there for 30 days and just say I couldn't get in touch with her and see what happened. And that's what I did. I went out there, and knowing that she couldn't get in touch with me, I only had about maybe 90 days. I had about 6 or 7 months left on parole. And I decided I just wasn't doing the program no more, man. So I ain't check in no more. I ain't go, when I got kicked out of my brother's keeper, I ain't check in. I ain't do nothing. I ain't call her. I don't know if she tried to contact me, but if she did, everywhere she went, it was no longer active. And at the same time, man, just like I said, in December, when that original sentence was due to be up, I got a letter to my brother's house where I paroled out to, and the letter came from the parole board saying, you have successfully completed, you know, your sentence is done, it's over with. So I was able to run for like those last 6 to 7 months, just knowing I can't afford to be pulled over. I can't afford to have my ID ran or anything of that nature. So for the most part, I just stayed out of trouble, man, for like 6 months. Was just strictly work and come home. When I got the letter saying that they were done with me, It was over with. I've never seen or heard from that lady again. Man, I know this story here been kind of long and drawn out, man. I appreciate y'all for staying down with me. I got something else to do. Matter of fact, because like I said, I just thought of another story I got to tell y'all, and I got another story I want to tell y'all. So go on and like, share, subscribe. I appreciate y'all for staying down with me. I got to get to work on this other stuff. I just wanted to close this one out, and I love y'all, man. I'll see y'all on the next one.